Welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 114. Yes, I had to put myself next to Oswaldo for the Andrew Carleton talk. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple things, including that Andrew Carleton interview that we had. But San Diego Loyal played over this weekend, beating El Paso Locomotive. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. 3-2 was the final score for that game. We're also going to go ahead and talk about San Diego Wave winning against Angel City here at home for the first time. Alex Morgan bagging a brace. Jody Taylor also getting herself on the score sheets. They also allowed a pretty terrible own goal. I don't know if you saw that. We're also going to go ahead and talk about World Cup qualifiers. The qualifications are over. The draw is now where it's at. We're going to have a discussion about the revenge tour of Mexico against Argentina. We're also going to go over Champions League and the next round of games that's going to be coming up here very, very soon. And about our vacations, because I literally stepped off a plane. I was not here like a couple hours ago, and you came from the other side of the west coast of
literally from the
Americas.
bottom tip of Baja California Sur.
Yeah, so I went to the top tip of Middle America. You know, it's North America, but Canada is the most northern America, so it can't really see North America. It was cold. Anyway, we have the great, fantastic, and always beautifully bearded Alan Underwood. I can't wait to one day. It's just not going to be there. Like, is that ever going to be a possibility? Like, what do we have to do to get that shaved?
Oh man,
to get this shaved? Oh, that's impossible. That will never happen.
What if Liverpool wins the quadruple?
Still not like
what situation would I have to put you in? As I'll go ahead and plug 2 balls 20 Calafino. Get your Calafino tequila. It's a shot of the day. We really need it here.
Let's just say I've had a beard prior to being married. So I think that's my wife only wants to see this part of my ugly face, not this part. So it's about 50% coverage. So I think she would be pretty grossed out if I shaved my beard. I do trim it pretty short, so you get the idea of what my face looks like normally. But yeah, the beard is kind of off limits.
$1,000
for now.
$1,000? Kidding me? No.
It'll grow back.
What's the lowest number?
I'll have to contact my attorney.
But yeah, so any case, as we were talking about it, this was one of the first matches since, one of two actually home matches that we've ever not been at Torero for a San Diego Loyal match. But this Sunday, it was a weird time, right?
2 p.m.
Sunday, 2 p.m., a lot of daylight. Usually the sun is bearing on 109, but some very low SPF was needed today on Sunday because the match was cloudy. I was up in Seattle. It looked like Seattle down here. But in any case, 3-2 ended up being the final score line for this matchup against
which was
Locomotive.
very close to predictions that we had. I had 4-2. I think, Alan, you had 3-1? Or someone had 3-1. Was it you? 3-1?
I cannot tell you how far away the last episode seems. Like,
so
much.
Last week.
Yeah, 100%. But, like, so much has
I went back
happened.
to listen to what the predictions were. I said 4-2. And I was like, oh, man. I was checking the score constantly because I was literally during the game, I was at the borderline crossing to walk over. I got home around 4:30. 5 p.m. And I kept checking the scores. I couldn't watch the game because I was like, my internet was still Mexico, so ESPN Plus doesn't work over there.
Mexican internet.
Oh.
So I was like, man, if Loyal just happened to score.
Hey, I heard the ads for Mexican internet on the old 1090. So,
oh, I love those commercials. I love them, especially when they translate them. Like, hola, Paquita, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just filling out my voter's registration for the INE. Oh, really? You got to make sure you vote and drop it because a bit. Followed by the Mexican national anthem at midnight. I live for those commercials. Those are so, because without context, they're hilarious. With context, they're even better.
If you haven't checked your party registration since the last election.
In Spanish, it's the exact same. Like, it's just as funny. It's just as funny and ridiculous in Spanish. It's wild. Tune in to 10 p.m. In any Mexican antenna here in San Diego, and you can hear La Hora Nacional where it's literally a nationally broadcast thing, followed by a national anthem, something that I've had to inform some people here in the local media. Anyway, we had a...
Sorry, Chiva, I cut you off.
Yeah.
Oh,
You already forgot. Again, your memory isn't back from Cabo. Oh, wow, black screen.
But yeah, no, I was checking the score and I was like, man, if Loyal just happened to score at the last minute to make it 4-2, I'll finally be right again. Everything will be back to normal. Chiba getting the predictions right again. But
everything's coming up, Chiba.
I've been so close. No, tell us about the game. I watched most of it as a recap, Alan, but you were there live. What was the atmosphere like on a Sunday, 2 p.m.? Was the attendance maybe not there? It looked a little light.
Maybe. I don't think they announced attendance. It was fine. Like, I thought the atmosphere for the first half was pretty vibrant. It was a beautiful day for soccer, like perfectly overcast. So it was like nice and bright, but it wasn't hot. It was kind of sprinkling a little bit. Like, I had to like take my sweatshirt off because I was like, I don't need this. If this was like, if you could guarantee that it was this overcast every afternoon game, I would sign up for afternoon games all the time. Like, it felt great. And then you were home at like 4:35, or you can go out to O'Brien's afterwards and not worry about it closing down or the kitchen being closed.
Yeah.
I loved it. It did seem like everyone's energy seemed to die down in the second half, as if everyone was like nervous especially when El Paso scored the second goal. Everyone's like, oh, here we go again. Yeah. Like, oh my God, we're going to drop points. We're going to drop points. We're going to drop points, because El Paso had all of the momentum going into the final, couple minutes. That was the only time where I really noticed, like, and then people tried to like cheer everybody up and it got big. And then it was like, it was kind of a weird vibe for like the last 20 minutes of the match. But the first half was so fun. Obviously, the team didn't play super great. Landon will talk about it in his interview. But the first half was like high energy. El Paso was trying to play really aggressive, and Loyal were like, all right, if you want to try and take it to us, then we're going to just attack. And it really opened up San Diego Loyal's attack. And it was one of like the coolest kind of halves of attacking football we've seen, where it was just like wave after wave after wave of like pretty good ball retention. It felt as if El Paso was just being pinned back. There was 3 or 4 really good looks before one went in. At least it felt that way. It did feel like sometimes among Kyle Vassell and Tumi Moshobani were kind of like occupying similar space and kind of maybe getting in each other's way a little bit. Like, it didn't feel as smooth as it should have. But it was just like nonstop, just pounding the ball at Loyal, or at the El Paso net. The El Paso goal kind of came out of, I guess, against the run of play, if you will. It didn't feel like El Paso had a ton of chances, and then they just happened to put a good chance in. I think they moved the defense around pretty well. But the first half was stunning and fun. The second half was not exciting and not stunning and not fun, except for Thomas Among's moment of individual brilliance, where he kind of bumps his defender off the ball, runs right at the keeper. And like, I know how the ball went in. I'm still like amazed that he made that happen from the angle he was shooting at to wrap it around the keeper and score. Like, I've seen that in like soccer matches. I've seen that in video games. Like, I've seen it before, but it still baffles my mind, the physics that go into curling the ball around the keeper for the corner. Like this, I mean,
like, this angle's wild, man.
Yeah, like how he, that's where I was like, you might be able to see me in the replay, but I'm like watching this happen as he's running like at me, and then he shoots it. I'm just like, how is this going in, and how is the keeper not making the save? But it's like he curls it out and around, and it was just a thing of just absolute beauty. Like, this in that
moment, like, you could see like the ball is not even touching the white post. Like, yeah, it's already spinning at a crazy, with a crazy spin and rotation. And, it's that perfect touch where the ball, as soon as it hits the ground, it's going to do a crazy just turn and go inside. But that's the times where I like to pause the goals, is right when it's like the most impossible for it to be out. Like that Roberto Carlos famous free kick, right? Like, the still of the ball being as further away as can humanly be and still be able to come back. Like, I live for that. But no, yeah, that's exactly like it's an incredible skill that Among shows, aside from his speed and power. But
look he's running away like he knows it's going in. That's the most amazing part about it too. Like, he kicks it, and then he was just like, this is going in.
It's a strike.
And then like that Lakers meme or whatever, where he's like 3 and it bounces out. Like, he's already celebrating. He knows that ball's going in.
Yeah, it's that natural striker instinct, right? That you shoot it and you feel like it's going in. It's kind of like Steph Curry, like you said, shooting the 3 and just turning around and walking away because he knows that shot's going in. But beautiful goal by Amang. Just shows his strength. I think the way the lineup was set up, having Vassell.
So I think they like that now. Yeah, they definitely.
It's working out. Let's go over the lineup real quick.
Yeah, no, they definitely are liking that. Pairing up top. Let me just go ahead and boom.
So Coque Vegas starts again. I do think Austin's gonna get the start on Wednesday.
Yeah,
he's finally gonna get a start on Wednesday on the Open Cup. You got Elijah Martin, Kyle Adams, Stoneman back, center back, and then you have Nick Moon playing right back. No Jack Metcalf. He did get injured. Nick Moon is a baller, man.
He is something else. Like very not necessarily underrated, but maybe even underappreciated. Like the things that he does off the ball, his movements, his intelligence, like it's something else. But then when he hits the ball in between his feet, it's amazing. Like this kid is I think, we're talking about some players that may not be here next season because of how good they are, their talent or whatnot, but this kid can certainly light it up, and it's crazy that San Diego Loyal was able to nab him, and I'm fine with it. But the attacking of San Diego Loyal attacking front is what's the difference this time around. As you were saying, Alan, right? Like people were sensing like, here we go again. Like we know where this is going, and maybe we're a young club, but we've already been scarred by being too happy at times, and that's coming back and bit us in the ass. But that's the difference with this team. That's the difference, and the improvement in the squad is that, that's still there. That feeling is still there. But for some reason, this team is able to pull it off, and they are able to pull it off not necessarily just tying games. They're winning the games.
Yeah, I asked Nick Moon why San Diego during the press conference, so I won't spoil that moment from the vlog, but that was one of the questions that I asked him was what brought you to San Diego? Like, you are one of the most sought after free agents this past season, so why San Diego? It's wild, like the assist he had for Kyle Vassell, just crazy good. Like, puts the ball into space, runs onto it himself, so puts the ball in space once, puts the ball off to Toomey. Then he like gets it back, and he's just so smart. Like, there's the open space. I'm going to kick it into it. And now it's, again, this is what Nate Miller was talking about. Like, you have to have guys people are afraid of. So that center back goes, I'm stuck between trying to close out Nick Moon and leaving Kyle Vassell alone, or I try to stick closer to Kyle Vassell, and he's kind of stuck in between, right? So he just plays this ball in the space because that's where the space is, and he knows he's going to beat his guy. And now it's kind of a 2-on-1, right? And you have who's that on the far left? My screen's real tiny. Conway probably on the far left. So the center back can't close in on Kyle Vassell, and then Kyle Vassell does a really smart thing where he doesn't try to stay with the defender. He kind of pulls back a little bit to open up that space. Conway puts it by Evan Newton, and it's the easiest goal Kyle Vassell has probably ever had to score in his career. Like, that was just a moment of brilliance, and that is your right back. Like,
and I think that's what's brilliant about Kyle Vassell, and I think we're realizing now he's going to be more of a poacher's striker than maybe the highlights we saw preseason.
Yeah,
where
those
he's
highlights
scoring
are
bangers.
insane. Yeah,
but his presence on the box is where it's at with him. He knows where to stand. He knows where to position himself to get that open look and score that tap in. This you can see the defender for El Paso, not the one right in front of Nick Moon, but the one to his right. He's jogging there, dude.
Yeah, no.
He made it too easy for Nick Moon.
Yeah, and again, all credit to Moon Vassell because it takes a special type of IQ for what Nick Moon did here. Like it's underappreciated. The weighted self pass into space, as you were talking, Alan, to put the ball into space to yourself inside of the box, not strong enough to let the goalkeeper come out because again, the goalkeeper gets that 8 out of 10 times, but to put the enough backspin and force for it just to stop where it did, like the goalkeeper's coming out. At no point you're taught as a goalkeeper, if you're gonna go, you go. There's no teeter-tottering on my backpedaling. No, if you go, you go.
Do you go out there though as a goalkeeper?
Who else is there? Look how close he is to your. Look how close he is to your box. Right. Yeah. There is nobody, and then you have to come out. This forces him to either make the decision to shoot, or lay it off to where your center back should be covering the attacker. Right. Correct. So that's going to be the excuse for the goalkeeper. The ball goes in, turn to your center back, turn to your defense. Why was he open?
That vision's impressive though from Moon.
That vision and the pass.
That little chip thing to the side, man.
Yeah.
It was just
And this is what also aggressive play does is normally in like a low block, you have your defenders facing away from goal. And so they conceive Kyle's run and that he stops or holds up. But because of all of the pressure, like all of your defenders are now running toward their own goal. And so they can't see Kyle's run as well. So they're all facing toward the goal. And so he's like, that defender's like, do I run near post? Do I run far post? Like getting your defenders to run at their own goal puts them at a disadvantage. And that's what Loyal wants is like to get to a point where the defenders are running at their own goal. And that way they're not defending as well. They don't have the same field vision, right? Everything's behind them that they can't see. And then again, Kyle makes a really good run to kind of hold up a little bit. So to be behind the defender because he's running full speed, he checks up a little bit, and that allows Nick Moon to play the ball a little bit further back. Because if he runs toward that far post, Nick Moon's going to have to probably kick it closer to the keeper to get it to Kyle Adams or Kyle Vassell. But Kyle Vassell kind of sits at the top of that 6 box and allows him to go horizontal as opposed to try and get an angle. So like a really well-worked goal, a really good run from Kyle. And then again, if something goes wrong, you have Evan Conway there on the far side to put a rebound in. So like it was just a really nice work goal.
I always like to say in these situations, right? Yeah, you got yourself there. At least hit a corner. Like get yourself a corner, and then we'll see what happens from there. But to get a goal off of it is 100% even better. No,
it's one of the best goals I've seen San Diego Loyal score, man.
Yeah, it's silky smooth, and again, it has a lot to do with Nick Moon's play. The play, the highlight here, and as you were pointing out,
so far Nick Moon has been the best signing Loyal has done for this season, right? What would you say, Kyle Vassell? Koke? Maybe.
I would put Among in there as well. Yeah. Like I think, but that was a trade. So like for pure signings, sure. Like acquisitions, I would put Among. That's the thing I remember. Like Among was traded for
that center midfielder.
It was Haji.
Haji, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, what you got for what you gave up, like
like you didn't need Haji there. It's having Colin Martin, Charlie Adams, Alejandro Guido.
That's a good point that Jason brings up. The difference between 2022 and 2021 is that they're being up by 2 goals when the late heartbreaker comes. So it's a lot of the same type of play, same type of results, but ultimately you have that firepower to just go extend yourself, beyond what normally you would. What?
No, it's because I was thinking back when Alan was saying you have El Paso just scoring, kind of late in the game. I saw when they scored the second. I giggled to myself in the borderline, and I was like, God damn, Loyal's at it again.
Yeah.
Like, it's what everyone that's been following San Diego Loyal feels now. It's like, oh, man, are we going to give up those points?
Yeah, and I talked to, what is it? Play-by-play, Jack Cronin. And that was the point he made, too, was like, San Diego last year, they would have been up 2-1 and it would have been a draw,
Mhm.
or worse, they would have been up. They would have been, and they would have lost that 2-1. It would have been 1-1, and they gave up the last minute. But I think the other goal in the first half was almost as impressive as that first goal. With kind of the cross was long, but Evan Conway puts like a brilliant one touch to it. Like Toomey does a great job.
Oh, sorry.
Nope. I mean, Toomey did a great job all game. Like there was some moments. That one we can skip over.
Yeah, it's just beep, 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 beep. There we go.
So the cross comes in. It's too long.
Yeah.
But Evan Conway is real smart and just touches it back to Toomey. And then Toomey does what we were hoping, what we talked about last week with Kyle Vassell, not having to put your laces through it and kick it to the moon every time, is just to put a nice solid strike on it. He caught it at the right moment as well. I think maybe even a half volley type of deal where it was on its way. Maybe it was on its way down. But like watching this goal happen, I was just flabbergasted. Like that Evan Conway's touch. Like again, this is why you went out and got probably one of the better players in League One. In Evan Conway, is we saw what he did against Phoenix, where he had some individual play, but just the heads up play to kind of touch it back to Toomey as opposed to trying to blast that at the goal. Right? He could have taken that shot. Right? He could have just, I'm gonna take this and it's gonna score a wonder goal. But it's like, Toomey's right there. I'm just gonna touch it to him.
And this is things they practice, dude. Like it goes back to training, right? We've all been at training and we see them practice different things and then see them next in the next couple days in the game. I'm sure I didn't get to go to practice, obviously for this before this game, but man, they practice those crosses a lot at training.
Yeah, and we did talk with Evan Conway at this last week, and he's about it. Like he's comfortable here, he likes it here, and he's very much ready for the challenge, because I think that's what you asked him right now. Like, hey, how was the jump in competition? You never want to say, hey, well, you were in the minor leagues, but now you're in the minor leagues, not as minor though, like not as down there, but he seemed comfortable. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, he seemed like a really smart kid. He seemed to understand kind of where he was in his development. He didn't seem like in a hurry to necessarily prove something. He's like, it's cool to, I wouldn't say pressure, but to feel like a part of that journey and be one of those guys. I know that John Morrissey, USL Tactics, has some things about USL 1 graduates, and he's kind of toward the bottom, but you have to remember that he was out the first week because of yellow card issue with the final, and then he's been kind of finding his way onto the team. I don't think we win in Phoenix or we win in El Paso without Evan Conway playing. Like, I love what Jack Blake can do. I love what Toomey Moshobani can do, but I think he just offers you something a little bit different. And this is what's great about the setup that they're playing right now. You can bring Jack Blake in and sub off somebody else, but this kind of Swiss Army knife approach of, we have 4 guys, 5 guys, 6 guys that can beat you and score on the pitch. You have to pick which one you're going to try and stop. And Evan Conway, Nick Moon, Toomey Moshobani, Kyle Vassell, Alejandro Guido, like it's a lot more dangerous, and it's players who play the system, I think, stronger than in the past, right? If you compare Evan Conway to Miguel Ibarra, I think you would take Evan Conway over Miguel Ibarra every day of the week. I just think he's a more dangerous player.
Yeah, former Tacoma Stars MASL legend Miguel Ibarra.
Yeah, he just signed in Charlotte Independence. Yeah. Loyal averaged just over 1.5 goals per game last season. They scored 51, so it wasn't like they weren't scoring goals. But in a game like this one would have been one that they're probably only going to get 1.5 to 2. And so last season, this would have been a drop points. Phoenix would have probably been drop points. Like San Diego's off to a really good start at home. Outside of that Tulsa match, which I don't want to talk about Tulsa, outside of that Tulsa match, right? You had 3 games in the last preseason match against Xolos. You had 2 against Los Dos. You had 2 against Sac Republic, 3 against Phoenix, 3 against El Paso. Like, we were waiting for this offensive explosion to happen, and it took a little while to find the pieces to make it work. Now we have the pieces, and we have some depth too to be an offensive team. The thing that I'm concerned about is now the opposite end, or where last year I think our goal differential was +8. We're giving up a lot of chances, and against a team like El Paso, I don't think you're going to keep a clean sheet, but I'd like to see, when you're up against a good team, like if you play like that in El Paso, you're going to lose, I think. So that's now the main the concern. Like, we have 10 goals against us. We're giving up 2 goals per match. That's not great. So we just got to make sure we clean that up. And maybe some of that's just some consistency. And maybe that's the fact that we played Sacramento and we played Phoenix and we played a pretty decent El Paso team who scored 8 goals this season. They've given up 13, but they scored 8. So maybe once we get against an Orange County or RGV or Monterey or Oakland, we're going to see those numbers drop. We've had some pretty good competition, and to be 4-0 or 4-0-1 or 4-1-0, depending on if you're win, draw, tie, or win, draw, loss, win, loss, draw guy.
Yeah.
You have to feel good. Like,
well, I mean, honestly,
you're getting points when you're not playing your best.
Yeah, I mean, these wins are gonna end up mattering when it comes to a playoff spot because it's head to head, right? The tiebreaker. It's not goal difference, so it's head to head. So these wins are very crucial to have, especially early on in the season. Whereas if now they, like for example, Phoenix, if they tie at home or something like that, you get that tiebreaker ahead of them now.
Yeah.
So those wins are very crucial. Every game matters. Obviously for the USL, like we said before, hopefully that Tulsa loss doesn't come back and bite them in the ass.
But I mean, if you take a look at what happened last year and how it started, right? It's those 4 games that, it took San Diego Loyo to actually get into a stride. I think you were talking earlier, right? Like, you were saying how Locomotive is probably the best 0-4 team that you've seen in a while.
For your sake, Alan, I hope they win a couple games and not just keep playing great but keep losing. Because I mean, if you play if you play great, you have to win some games.
They're a talented team. They're just a little bit of a mess in the back, and that's on the coaching staff to kind of turn it around. The Tulsa match, I'm not as worried about because that's cross conference. I think Landon said in his press conference, like, each of these East or West Conference games are essentially 6-point games, right? You win them, that means the other team can't make up those 3 points, and you play everyone twice, except for Orange County. You play everyone twice. So if you can win at home, it puts pressure on those teams when they're at home. They have to win or they lose the tiebreaker, right? So Sacramento away is now going to be even more important for Sacramento. El Paso away is going to be even more important for Sacramento. And then winning in Phoenix really takes the pressure off you at home, where you want to win, but if you walk out with a draw, now you have the tiebreaker. You've taken care of some business along the way that allows the games away to put more pressure on the opposite team, where they might need like a Los Dos or Sacramento might need, hey, we have to win this game because it might be make or break our postseason. And so then they might be more attacking. And then Loyal can then respond in kind to take advantage of the space left behind, right? If they're going to go a high line like El Paso did in the first half, we see what San Diego can do against a team who plays a high line and teams that are attacking like Phoenix and El Paso.
So you've seen USL teams, you've been watching, covering for longer than, we have. And again, best USL mind in San Diego here, Alan Underwood. Is Loyal the real deal so far? Are things painting as good as it looks right now? Because again, there's a long road ahead. There's a long road ahead. If you were to ask that question again to 0-4 last year, it's you wouldn't say, they're projected to be a playoff team, actually.
In the words of Nate Miller, you don't want to peak at the beginning of the season.
But like, from what you see, the roster, the potential that's there, right? Like, Loyal isn't playing their best, as you mentioned. They can still, tighten some things up, and if they get to that point last year where they went on a 9-game unbeaten streak, then is this team possibly going to be better than that 9-game run for a longer stretch of time? There is more games, but what do you think about that?
I would say this is what I say a lot, or we talk about a lot, is like this like a 10-game span. Like, we kind of know where each of the teams are going to be after 10 games, right? Like, RGV started out crazy hot at the beginning of the year, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, they're going to be a playoff team." And then they like didn't play well. They're like, "Oh, that's back to old RGV." And then they came back and were a playoff team and knocked off Phoenix, and like were a relatively successful team in the playoffs, winning their first game, right? Something Loyal hasn't done. I think that they're setting themselves up to be in a good position, right? 3 points at the beginning of the season, 3 points in the middle, 3 points at the end. It's all the same, right? This isn't the Premier League where you build up a lead and then you can kind of keep it. And I've seen teams shoot up, and I've seen teams just completely fall off the face of the earth, Ontario Fury and MASL. What I would say right now is they're building a really good foundation to be in the conversation of, we're a title contender, right? They're in that conversation right now. Now, they have to maintain that greatness, and I think that they can. They have the players, they have the coaching staff, they have the history of, we are a playoff team and we are in the title contention conversation. I think this year, with the way that they've started and who they've faced, I think have a legitimate shot of saying, we can beat anybody in a 1-game playoff match at home or on the road. Like, we're not afraid to go on the road. Now, that Tulsa hiccup like can't be a like ongoing thing. Like, one road loss to an Eastern team midweek on a baseball field in, whatever, like, we can cross off all those excuses. Like, all right, if it's a one-off, it's a 2-off of course the season, it's fine, right? Oakland and Tampa Bay, for example. Do I think Tampa Bay sucks because Oakland held them to a 1-1 draw in Oakland? No, it's just sometimes you don't have it. It's USL, right? But what they're doing right now is stockpiling points, right? We see this, like, getting the points on the standings, like 12. We have 12 points. No one can take that away unless something weird happens and someone was ineligible or whatever. But we have those 12 points, and you can see, like, well, people have games in hand, but not everyone's going to get those games in hand. Las Vegas looks very strong, right? We said at the beginning of the year, right? There is going to be teams that everyone thinks are bad that are going to be all right, and things that are who are good who are going to be bad. It's the USL. This happens all the time. San Antonio, maybe not as strong as the record shows. Phoenix, probably not as poor as the record shows. I would say the same thing about El Paso. Monterey Bay looks like competent at times. Oakland seems to be a hard out at times. Los Dos is like, there are speed bumps along the way that are that could trip up Loyal. But I think the way that they're playing right now, and even though they're not playing their best, I would put them, top 3, top 4 in the West, which means they have a really good chance of hosting a playoff match. And if you can host one, maybe you can host another one. We saw that with Orange County, and all of a sudden now you're at the Western Conference Finals. Like, that's very plausible for San Diego at this point. Now they need to, like, knock on wood to make sure the depth stays. It's a long ass season. I don't think we're ready for how long this season is going to feel. And there are no teams that you can be like 3 points, right?
Yeah,
none of them.
Exactly. Looking at the schedule, right? Like, you don't get a break. We're here just past El Paso. You get Charleston Battery. You get Oakland Roots, who you face here and there. You face Louisville, which is a great team. You have the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who, again, historically good team. New Mexico, you have a chip on your shoulder for that, and that's just the month of April, what's left of April and the beginning of May.
Not only that, but you also have other matches that are not potentially in that schedule yet if you win on Wednesday against Albion in the Open Cup.
Yeah, you're basically going Wednesday, Open Cup, Saturday, Charleston, Wednesday, Oakland, Saturday, Louisville, and that's wild. Like you get a little bit of a break for Tampa Bay, which is nice. Because back-to-back Loose City, Tampa Bay, those are 2 tough games.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: like Tampa Bay on the road,
and then
like
Colorado switchback. Sorry for that. Then like who's up there too. So sorry.
I would like early season. Colorado is by far the best team in the West. Like they score goals and they don't let anything in. Like go look at their goal differential. Like look at how many they scored. Look at how many they've given up. They're the real deal right now, and that's going to be a tough test. Tampa Bay maybe not as strong as they've been in the past, but there's weapons there, right? And you're playing in their house. So, like, you're going to drop points along the way, right? And it's going to be all right. Like, you're not going to get 3 points out of everything. You don't need to get 3 points out of everything. You're not Man City, Liverpool over the next couple of weeks. You mean, like, you're going to drop some points, but you have to make sure that you're winning the games you should win. And you're getting points out of the games at home. I think that's how we should measure the success over the month of April is, you got to beat Oakland. You got to get something out of Lou City at home. You got to get something out of Colorado Springs at home. And then I think San Diego will probably get something out of New Mexico. They've been okay, but they've been coughing up leads at the end of matches, which is not good for them. But I think that there's some positive tests over the next couple weeks. But remember, dropping 4 games in a row, San Diego still had a chance to be the 2nd seed. So I have faith that even if some hiccups happen, it's going to be fine. It's early season, but you got to feel good about your title chances right now, where if they play better, which they can and which they will, once you're in the playoffs, all bets are off. And I would take San Diego against anybody in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then, I mean, looking into this next match on Wednesday, right, against Albion, it's the San Diego Derby, as you call it. No longer 1904. It's merged with Albion.
The supporter group is now Albion 1904. I guess that was their big, support us, guys, up here in Del Mar. Like, sure, all power to everything San Diego.
So, like, was it like the Black Plague and all that? Like, they all, like, it's a new group now, but it's the same people?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Man, should have joined the locals, huh, guys? Or the Chavos.
So this is going to be April 6th, the Open Cup at 7:30 in Canyon Crest Academy. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. So if you want to watch that match and you are,
if you don't want to pay those $35,
$35 and $35 in gas, depending on where you live, is what it's going to cost you. That's about $70. That's before you buy a Aquafina for $5 at a high school. But, it is what it is. If it turns out that, you get to see a nice little hot air balloon show, because that is where they land right behind Canyon Crest Academy, then it'll be worth it. But if not, hopefully it's going to be worth it for San Diego to be witness to the first open in public match between 2 professional soccer teams here in San Diego in a while.
Yeah, so there's obviously going to be rotations in this lineup, right? There's no way he sticks with the same lineup that he had last game. I think we said Austin starts. I think, what's his name? Camden Riley, right?
Yes.
He gets to start. I think Conway gets to start as well. So there's going to be many rotations. I wouldn't be surprised if CJ Faudree gets to start in this game.
That'd be cool.
Albion's coming off a loss, 2-1 lost again in their NISA League match.
Yes.
So maybe they're still pretty much a brand new team. Loyal's already been, it's his 3rd year together. So I think this should be an easy win. But again, last time Loyal had rotations, they struggled against Tulsa.
They did.
So, by the way,
Tulsa's pretty good.
By the way, the game that Colin Martin hasn't started, they played like shit and they lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to point to that, like it's one of the factors and could be a big factor in that. But
a couple things. Landon said that they are treating this game like we want to win this game. Like we know how important this is. I think everyone's up for it. The organization realizes how important it is. Like I think this is like the 4th or 5th Open Cup. I think maybe they don't go as heavy into it. But I think this being the first Open Cup, I think they want to like get to a point where they're playing some bigger teams. I think that's important for them. And you can't play the Galaxies or the LAFCs or whoever they're going to get unless you get through. You know, you got to beat an ISA team. You probably got to beat at least a USL club. But then you have to also remember for like Albion, this is like this is probably one of the biggest games they'll play all season. So this, like, you're gonna get guys who are gonna be like, you said I wasn't good enough. I went to your open tryout. I got looks. You didn't, like, they have something to prove, right? Like we see this a lot. This is the magic of the Open Cup, right? This underdog idea and a team kind of coming together and playing a team that maybe isn't as sharp because it's not their normal starters. I have faith that if it gets to a point, Landon will make some substitutes and put on a Kyle Vassell or a Thomas Simon. Like, imagine Kyle Vassell against a Nice center back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he probably doesn't start them, but it's kind of like a League Cup in one of the European leagues where you got the guys on the bench to pull in to get the win when you need it.
Yeah.
But you're going to run out some kids and get some guys some looks and get some guys some minutes on the pitch. Maybe like a Nico Boxel, who just came back from international duty. You want to get him some minutes. So a lot of the guys who got subbed on at the end of this game, plus some of your academy kids, I think you put them on. Like, we might see a Xavi out there. And we've seen those kids at practice. They're good. Like, they're fun. So, like, I'd like to see that. And then you have the horses waiting in the wings, ready to, like, if it's 1-1, if it's 0-0, you want that win. You put them on the last 20 minutes and see what you can get. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more competitive than you might think on paper. Like, I've seen.
Yeah, Chief, I have some respect for the opponent.
No,
I've just seen teams like it's just weird when you get to the Open Cup, right? I've seen teams drop and lose to teams that you would never think would lose.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
You're not supposed to lose.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it. You know, you're talking about Orange County proper losing to Orange County Blue up in Orange County. But definitely it's going to be an exciting matchup. And however this ends up happening is there's going to be a team in San Diego representing the city in the Open Cup. So that's going to be fun. Jesse Loera, I'm saying San Diego Loyo finished second. Imaginemos cosas chingonas. Let's imagine some chingonas stuff. But definitely, I mean, it's going to be a first. So you're going to be there, Alan? Regardless,
I will.
Regardless
I will.
Of $35 pricing on a teacher salary. How dare they?
Correct.
How dare
Correct. I took out a loan. It'll really cost me about $300 when it's all said and done. No, because you are going to if you do well, you are eventually going to be that team playing the MLS club.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, there's no chance that they're going to beat them, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you have to respect ASC San Diego in order to get to the point where you're forcing MLS to respect you. Because, I mean, MLS clubs are probably not going to play their starters against you.
Exactly.
So you got to go out there. I mean, they'll get some starters if they make it far enough. Like, I think St. Louis played Atlanta United the year that they won the Open Cup. So once you get to a certain point, you're going to be playing some pretty good competition. But to get there, you have to beat the ASC San Diegos of the world. So you have to take this game as seriously as you did Phoenix El Paso. It's gonna be a wild ride. And this is the thing, like, we've seen some teams get affected because they didn't have the depth to compete over the course of the USL season, any US Open Cup, right? They just kind of ran out of gas. So it's another really big reason why stocking points early is important. If you go on an Open Cup run and you have to maybe sacrifice a few things to get a little bit further in the Open Cup in the regular season, you stockpile those points. And so you can kind of rotate some guys as needed. Because you built up a pretty decent cushion.
Now, there's going to be a lot of games in April, like we already said.
Yeah.
But if they win, they get another round, another game in April. fatigue's gonna hit with all this game and traveling. Is the team deep enough to just be able to rotate?
So far, the team's been deep enough for some key players going down in early moments and important moments. Charlie going down. They've been able to maneuver and finagle, and it seems like a pretty good tape job, to be honest. And at the end of the day, it's still a tape job. You have Evan Conway coming on very early for an injured Jack Metcalf. You kind of do some things you're not intending to do, but the number of people, especially now, you have Nico Boxel, right? Yeah, great, that's fantastic, but this guy is going to be gearing up for the World Cup as well. So they have a playoff against Costa Rica, the Brandon versus Nick Duffy derby.
Yeah, that's until June, so I mean he should be fine.
I know, but he wants to be his best at his best, but not get injured, right? So if you're stretching him out too much, like what's gonna happen, right? Like,
I mean, no, his priority is the club. It's not New Zealand. No, your priority is your club. Like
I don't know.
You play for your club.
It's a World Cup.
No, I understand
It's
that.
a World
I understand that.
Cup.
But if it comes to a point where we didn't play him because we want to save him for New Zealand or something, no, that's bullshit. You play for your club.
Yes, but I'm talking about the individual. The individual,
He's
think
gonna
he's
play
gonna
when
take.
he gets told to play. That's the
I'm
thing.
sorry, Chiba.
He's no, it's because it
I'm
doesn't make sense.
sorry.
Like you don't get to choose. Like, hey,
and all this.
hey,
You don't get
Landon,
to choose.
can I get some rest this
have a
game because I have an
choice.
important game coming up with New Zealand? Like,
You
no.
don't have a choice in this.
Like,
Wow.
am I wrong there?
You're not wrong, but you're not as right as you could be.
Okay.
Sorry, Alan.
I think people in the chat would agree with me. Like
people in the chat would agree with me. They would agree with both people that we need somebody to help pour Elijah.
They'll agree with
Elijah
the famous
Martin in the
one,
back.
Tony, Alan?
Hey, I mean, I don't
you
know if
just
you
had a very big interview.
I don't know if you saw. It was a firestorm.
Can I tell you guys? It feels a little weird sitting in this chair today. It's a little weird.
Where'd you put it?
It's right here.
He left.
Ugh.
You are. What do you? You are touching. You are.
If Elijah doesn't play left back, what's the plan? Probably Kyle Adams.
Kyle Adams. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. And I'll be on have some players too. Like I don't know if you could say this. I guess now, but there was a very important former 1904 player that was trying out for San Diego Loyal. And so
I think we could say his name now.
We'll say his name because I forgot it. I know it's Mo, but like
Mo Espinosa.
Oh, Espinosa. Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up. Is he playing with Albion? 619 Soccer. I know you. 619 Soccer. Is Mo playing with Albion? I never saw him getting announced. But if you can let us know.
Hell no. Second World Cup ever for your nation over the damn USL? Yes, thank you.
No, I agree. As a player, yes. But you're going to play for what you're getting paid.
You're getting paid in pride.
Oh, okay.
All right. But definitely.
The interview. Let's talk about that real quick.
The interview was a pretty all right movie directed by James Franco and Seth Rogen, where it was rather controversial.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard about this, but it was an all right movie. It's Superbad meets Regime.
Controversial, as in San Diego has had some controversial things happening lately too. So, how are you feeling after that? I don't think I've asked you yet. How are you feeling after that interview?
You know what? Everybody actually asked me that. You were the only one that didn't ask me that, so fuck you.
I've been having too much fun. Sorry.
You have been having too much fun, but I there's a lot of. This is what I'll do. Okay, if you guys have questions, I'll kind of walk you through.
Mo is playing with Chattanooga Red Wolves.
I just put that up there.
One. Okay.
Thank you, 609 and Ricardo. Essentially, so this is what went down. I have a flight on Thursday morning at 6 a.m. to start my first vacation since we started the podcast. Fantastic. At 4 p.m. on Tuesday or something like that, 3 p.m., I get a call from the president of the club and communications people on the speakerphone. And they're like, "Hey, Tony." And I had a feeling at this point because there were some rumblings, the club and the locals, Chavos, and they were having discussions about, hey, we need to hear from Andrew Carleton. We need to hear, because it was never addressed. We just got Landon's this, and people's feelings were hurt online, and real people were getting upset because they're being associated with something for just supporting a soccer club, which, you know, at the end of the day, just is incredibly unfair. You know, yeah, there's limits to you know, the memeage of stuff. And just sorry, just can't try to read all the way over there, Alan. ¿Qué dice? ¿Qué decía?
Oh, I don't.
You can say. Oh, okay. Open Cup.
Oh,
Read it. I can't read that far.
U.S. Open Cup round 3 is April 19, 21st. Round of 32 is May 10, 11.
Okay, maybe you can read it with a little bit more enthusiasm next time.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, so then they're like, hey, on Tuesday at 3, whatever, they're like, hey, this is gonna happen. Like, you're gonna have them on, and you know, all we ask, and this is something that I'll be very clear with, right? Like, at no point did the club tell me, hey, ask him this, don't ask him this, you should probably not ask. Like, they said, it's your interview, you're going to do it however you want. You know, and then I went back and forth. Obviously not with you, because your ass was in fucking Cabo.
I'm sorry. Like,
jeez.
It's not my fault.
You could have chosen not to go to Cabo.
No, I deserved that fucking vacation, man. That was my birthday trip.
Happy birthday.
It's not
tomorrow.
It's not. It's tomorrow.
That's fine. You're finally
got a vacation.
22. It's wild.
22, sure.
And so, yeah, so the club didn't direct any questions. They didn't shield any questions. They didn't say anything like, other than, hey, here's your interview. Because I even said, hey, I'll do it at the office. I'll take all of the equipment. I'll do it in the little
conference
room, and then we'll just do it there. Obviously, the optics weren't going to be ideal, especially if they're trying to make this. The whole point of it, right, was not necessarily not to do it on Always Loyal, their official podcast hosted by one Darren Smith and Jordan Caruth. Shout out to them. Because I even texted them, you know, because this was a real deal Holyfield interview in a sense. Like, there's some stakes here. So, the only negative comment, which is surprising, right? The only negative quote comment, and that didn't even affect me. I was just like, was somebody called me a so-called journalist, which was high praise. Thank you. That was wonderful. But essentially, like, that's what happened. We went to training. I went in with Alan to training, so he kind of saw the transgressions over there. They were gonna have us meet at the end of training, and yeah, I met him, and we got introduced. Everything Landon said about the kid, he's a sweet kid. Yeah. What do you want me to say? Like, he's a sweet kid. In that initial interaction, it was like, hey, how's it going? Like, you know, you're going to be in my house in a bit. Told my parent, hey, this is going to happen. Their main concern wasn't having somebody so controversial here. They were mostly concerned about me having to clean the garage. So as you could imagine, just coming over and cleaning frantically a garage because we were expecting a guest. And so I was too lazy to put these back, but I kind of like these microphone setups instead of the arm.
I miss my arm. You decorated apparently.
I did.
You're gone for a week, Alan, and everything just changes.
Look at this. Like, I put the credentials next to him so he knows like who he's talking to. All right, he's not just talking to some schlum ass podcast. He was complimentary about our setup though. So shout out.
He was talking to a so-called journalist.
Yeah, so-called journalist.
Jesse wants to know what was your feeling pretty much like having to interview Carleton?
I was surprisingly calm, cool, and collected. So I got support
very well. Yeah,
I got support from people outside texting me, DMing me from the locals. Alan, you know, you were, you know, on my side as far as like, hey, let's get some questions in. Let's get some good questions in. We kind of work together, workshop some stuff.
By the way, big shout out to the local Chavos leadership team for pushing for 2 balls on the mic to have this.
Yeah, that's my takeaway. Like, my community put me in this position, and I really am thankful for that they went to bat for me just so I can represent them. And again, my whole spiel was, I'm not here to make them look good, not here to make them look bad. I'm just gonna ask for my city, and that's kind of what I went for, and hopefully that came across. So in the initial part of it, I say, oh, like, you guys almost missed your exit because they almost ended up in Mexico. Some people picked up on that. What do you mean you? What do you mean this? What do you mean we? Like, who else was there? Like this is, the kid doesn't have a car.
Me neither.
He doesn't have a car, right? So he has to get driven to my house, into my garage. And so first thing they get
Tony lives in a very nice neighborhood, by the way.
I don't. don't.
You do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, crime. It's a little too quiet. I like a little crime.
Ivy is a great neighborhood.
He came in with this right here, little container of what I
Left
thought
us a
was
decoration. Very nice.
and his imprint, right? He has even his nail there. Like you can tell, maybe he was
A little nervous.
he was a little nervous. Not that one. Maybe he was a little nervous and stuff. Like I didn't think he was nervous, but people say he sounded nervous.
So yeah.
What do you guys think about it? Because it's so hard for me to put myself outside of that perspective.
of course.
Because like,
Yeah.
I was here.
Mhm.
The kid looked at in my eyes the entire time.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a San Diego Loyal official there, but they were just on their phone the entire time, which is fair. Like, you know, you're literally the ride. And it's a conversation here. Like, we were in the headphones, in the headspace. But did he sound nervous, Alan? Like what do you think?
I mean, I would be nervous, right? Like you're putting yourself out there. I wouldn't say like make or break your career, but there's a lot riding on how you represent yourself in this interview, right? And like we've all been on job interviews where even if we feel super confident, there's still that like anxious feeling of I hope I do well. I hope I say all the right things. I hope I represent myself well. Like I don't mean like say the right things as in like I will say what the job person wants me to say, but like say all the right things as in I want to fairly represent myself and my belief structure and how I feel about soccer or or the job. And like, I remember as 22 interviewing for my first teaching job, like I was terrified. It was such a unique experience, and put yourself in someone's shoes of I'm going to someone's house that I don't really know. We're going to talk a whole bunch about things that are probably uncomfortable, and I have to try to get everything out as eloquently as possible.
Yeah.
When he's like not a trained media person, right? Like
Yeah.
there's all of these, and like content aside, like his answers aside, like I'm not like I think people will hear what they want to hear out of that interview.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you remember back to when you're 21, which for some of us is like a couple days ago, for some of us it's like years ago.
Yeah.
It is a stressful situation, and I thought he answered as truthfully to him as possible, and I think people are gonna be allowed to make their own decisions about what they believe and what they don't believe, what they heard, what they didn't hear. And I know people say, "Oh, I should have pushed them harder," but it's like how hard do you push somebody in a situation where you're trying to like allow them to have a platform to share who they are? Like you're gonna ask some questions.
Yeah.
Some things didn't feel quite right, but like this isn't 60 Minutes. This isn't nightly news. This is an opportunity to have a conversation and like, hey, just tell us about yourself. If you want to know more, like go ahead, like try and find out more from him. But
Yeah.
It was that fine line, definitely, like trying to push it. And I think that if I had pushed it a little harder or different directions, it would have started becoming like me trying to grandstand him.
Dude,
and
with all honesty, I watched the whole interview, right? And
thank you.
Of course. But so I'm reading some of the comments, and he says a lot of ums. He was playing with the microphone. Bro, I play with the microphone. It's just fidgeting. It's normal when you're in front of a camera and you're talking to someone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in a situation that he's in.
Yeah.
By no means am I saying I have the same beliefs as him and support the same thing that he's supporting. But I gotta honestly, I respect the guy a little bit more for when you asked him, "Hey, do you regret that?" And he said, "Well, no."
Yeah.
Because it's what he believes. He's standing up for
Yeah.
his own ground. Like, he's not just going to say...
He's not on an apology tour.
He's not going to say, oh, what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
He's being genuine with himself, and I respect that about a person. Like, you being genuine and honest about who you are, I respect that a lot. Yeah, we don't have to agree with him, but at the end of the day, for me, is what matters what he's doing on the field. And if he's not playing well, then, dude, sorry, like, you suck. Like, I'm going to be hard on you if you're not performing on the field.
Yeah.
But for the interview... It was great. You asked the tough questions. You asked him, what were you doing there January 6th? Like, you straight up asked him that. So I think like Alan said, people are gonna take away what they wanna take away from the interview. Yes, he was nervous. Yes, like you remember he's 21.
Yeah.
Like
He's a kid. Like
he's a
he
kid.
legitimately is a kid. And I was doing the math, right? And we all kind of work with kids in some some way, and we guide kids and children and the future, right? Whitney Houston said, "Teach them well and let them lead," or something like to that effect, right? My first class of sixth graders that I would have taught is Andrew Carleton's age. So when I first started, so my blue team, when I first started, which is the fifth, sixth graders, is the same age as Andrew Carleton. Really? So it's like, in a sense, somebody actually, it was USL memes, because USL memes, Phoenix Nation, all those people that were attacking San Diego Loyal fans, San Diego Loyal in general, Andrew Carleton, that said some hurtful things, that associated people with certain things and certain images, like they all, and I'm grateful that they said, hey, great interview, a lot of positive stuff, a lot of great people. We had some great discussions about how I felt, what it was like, and honestly, like I think they saw that this is that kid, and that's the fine line that I was trying to see. Like I asked and went out and talked with Darren Smith, like, hey dude, you do this on a daily basis, like I want to make sure I come correct. And I asked Cesar Hernandez, right, our friend who writes for ESPN, like, hey, like this, and great advice. But in general, like I really like the fact that he not once like looked over to the other,
like for help,
like should I say this? With like he was here. I was nervous not looking away. Like he had eye contact. So I'm like, I need to figure out the questions, and the order, and it was rehashing of some things at the end, and if that's how that came across, then I'm sorry, but I like to think that I wanted no stone unturned. I wanted as much content of him out there, because again, he's here to speak for himself. I'm not here to speak for him. Like he's gonna do what he wants.
I mean, it could have gone like where. I mean, he could have gone pissed, just gotten up and said, "All right, I'm leaving." Like
the most uncomfortable moment for me, and I don't know if that's how it came across for everybody, was like, I will speak, I will act. Where I said, "Oh, the saying for Loyal, I will speak." I mean, he had no clue. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh shit! Like, does he like not?" I could have gone anywhere. Does he not get that?
And it's something that a lot of people were wondering about, right? Like, it's something that maybe even Landon himself would have told him, "Hey, like we have this saying here."
Yes. At the end of the day, I feel like it's not necessarily just a marketing thing. It is a marketing thing, but it's a marketing thing with some heart, and they back it up. And I love that about the team, and that's what part of the team, that aspect that I have loved. But again, it's a saying that was a couple years ago. It's still being used to this day, but the only reason I say that is because he was familiar with the actual incidents.
Yeah.
And he was vehemently against them. And so that's the only point I'll give him for that. Is that on him for not knowing that? Probably not. But that becomes my role of like, okay, well, let me tell you about this for the first time. I don't know if you're like how that's going to be received.
It's like Alan said, man. He's 21. A lot of people back when they were 20, 21, for majority of the people, you're going to look back and say, oh, shit, I was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, I messed up when I did this. Like, it is what it is, right? Like, I mean, time is going to only tell what is going to happen. Is he going to be here for a long time? I don't know. I mean, does anyone really stay for a long time in a USL club? Like, it's hard.
Especially with his talent.
Yeah. I do want to just be fair for like, 21. Yes, I think people can still expect him to hold him accountable for his beliefs. I think people can disagree with beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need to make sure that when we're expressing how we feel about players signing for teams, that we do it in a way that doesn't go after supporters who are choosing to still support the team. People, I think, can make up their own minds and say, I will now support, or I will continue to support, and we need to be okay with that. I think there are going to be some people like Adrian who don't feel comfortable supporting right now, and don't feel comfortable being a part of the supporter group at the match. supporting the team, and we need to be okay with that too. I think so often we go to a place of like, I'm gonna get as many clicks as I can by saying the most batshit crazy thing, and we don't realize that for a lot of these, Twitter accounts, that these are real people behind them, who are just as conflicted as you are, but because it's their home club, it hits differently, right? We saw this what happened with Phoenix and the Junior Flemings and Rick Sean's fallout. We saw this in Birmingham when they signed him again. It I think we just need to be very careful that if you're unhappy with San Diego signing Andrew Carleton, go after the team, please.
Yeah.
Like, don't go after the supporters who are there, who are just trying to support their local franchise and who are now, being attacked by the soccer community at large, right? Like, we have to realize that there's a lot of nuance to a lot of things. And I think Landon Donovan's right. Like, we never ask the political stance of people we sign, right? Like Manny Machado wearing a Let's Go Brandon shirt. Like,
yeah, that's a double standard right there.
Like, he is who he is from where he lives, and of course a bunch of his friends are Republican. Like, it's Florida. I mean, come on. Like, I think that we need to be very careful of, just because you are of a political belief doesn't mean that you believe all of those things. But we also need to make sure that, like, we realize when we follow people who have specific beliefs that are homophobic, racist, whatever we want to, all of those things, like, we also should be able to call those people out, right? Like, if they're on our team and he tweets something or says something, then we call him out. Right? We will speak, we will act, right? And so I think this is the one thing that we just need to constantly remind ourselves is there's a lot of nuance to a lot of things, and we have to be cautious and thoughtful about how we react, and we have to think about going after and vocalizing things in the right direction, at the right people, and do it in a way that is hopefully going to spark positive change and not just howl at the moon because it feels good and virtual signal and look at me, I'm standing up against the fascist right, but then not really, like, living up to that in your daily life, right? Like, I have a lot of respect for Adrian and what he's doing. And I want to support that decision. And I also have a lot of respect for the folks who are like, I'm going to use my platform to voice my displeasure, and then realize that there's 20 some odd other people on that pitch who deserve love and respect and support. And, Elijah Martin, Colin Martin, the things that they went through, like, we also have to realize we're going to be supporting them too. So I thought you did a great job. I thought it's going to allow people to make their own decisions. I thought the response was very rational from a lot of folks. And I think we just need to remember this as loyal supporters, that when something happens that isn't on our team, that we realize what we went through and what we saw, and we just have to be better than that the next time, and be thoughtful about what we say, and be aware that there are people who are probably hurting in those home markets who are dealing with the same kind of crap we've been dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, and this whole Twitter beef with people talking shit to loyal supporters like Phoenix and all that stuff. I mean, everyone's different when it comes to taking in the shit talking.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, you can decide to fire back and go back and forth. Then it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you ask me, just like the tweet and be like, we're on top of the table. That's it.
Yeah, something Jason actually offered, like, hey, if you get shit talked by any of the other support, because people are going to come after you, and I thought that too. But that was the great part about just, like, set it and forget it, because again, timetable 4 p.m. Get prepared. You're going to have them tomorrow. When? In your house at 4 p.m. the next day. And then, by the way, at 6 a.m. after that, you have to be on a flight. Like, the turnaround was just so crazy.
Good shit.
So wild. So, like, I just hope the best happened. The best case scenario is going to happen. All the people, as you're saying, that are talking shit online and this, like, honestly, I didn't have to text Jason just because everybody was so nice. Like, everybody was understanding, cordial, and like I said, they may not support exactly what he believes. They might not support what I believe. Like, fuck it, but it sparked a great conversation. I think the understanding, fundamental understanding, came across that he's trying, and hopefully he does try. Somebody mentioned, I think it was the U.S. Somebody was like, yeah, you look, when you shook his hand, you look like a stern father. And I'm like, yeah, no, 100%. Because I'm like, yeah, you have, like, this is on you, kid. Like, you gotta step up. I hope you do.
Chale huevos, cabrones.
Chale huevos. Yeah, is that what it said?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Chale huevos, cabrones. No, that one, he's like, no.
Hey.
O le dijiste, vamos, cabrón. Al último,
Yeah.
like.
Hey, his best friend's Mexican, so he should know that one, right?
Should.
And
He should. He should have known that one.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, first thing he did when he got here after almost going to Mexico was, go take a piss in my home. So he not only did he come into my garage.
You barely even let me go in there.
Yeah, exactly. He actually did when again after. So I think he's matched the amount of times that you've been in my house. So
wow.
But again, and stepping back from all of it, right? Like,
I don't feel so special.
It's our first 2 balls and a mic guest in the studio. Sorry, Alan. Sorry, everybody who's been like, hey, what is, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, guys. I'm with you. I wasn't even here for that.
At the end of the day, it was a San Diego Loyal player that graced the 2 balls in a mic studio.
Alan, we're lucky. We're lucky that we're in a podcast with someone so famous.
It's true. I count my blessings every day.
Yeah, straight up. Like,
but yeah, so if
I don't know
anybody,
where I'd be without Tony, I guess.
if anybody has any questions about that, again, like, it was
DMs
just
are
a
open.
wild set of circumstances. Yes, the club did hit me up after. Yes, president, owner, Vasiliades, Ricardo Campos, they all reached out and said thank you. They actually offered to hook it up with whatever drinks I want in my vacation, like, but I don't have Venmo. But no, like, it was good. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed the learning experience out of all of this, right?
And if you ever feel like maybe you want to hear my side of things, not that you may want to, my DMs are open. Hit me up.
So get this, Alan. I start getting 2 balls and a mic notifications on Instagram, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, who's Claudia? Blah blah blah. Who's like Regina, Jorgina? like who are these people following us? And then Chiva over here is like, hey, I'm lit, and like, I'm pretty drunk, but like, I've been telling everybody that I have the #1 podcast, the People's Pod over in San Diego.
I told everyone over there I have the most successful soccer podcast in San Diego.
I mean, until I still someone proves us otherwise. I mean,
not wrong, but
and so
I was like, drunk out of my mind the whole vacation,
I have
guys.
all the girls that Chiva's like macking on, just like following.
Chiva, you could have said I'm on one of the best local or one of the best soccer podcasts in San Diego. So it's like I said I was one of the best. Like,
we're not wrong.
Yeah,
you weren't wrong. So
I think to one of them I said I have the most consistent podcast in San Diego.
We've done it for 113 weeks.
114 now.
114 now. So still,
damn, man,
the most consistent podcast. So I mean,
dude, I had a great time.
In any case, if anybody wants to know more about that interview, you have any questions, let me know. Put them in the chat. We might just do it after. But this was water, by the way. It was not coffee. For science, I had to check. Right, I'm like, what is he drinking? Like, what is he coming? For science, and so it's just water. The water's still in there, so if you want to try it out,
he left this trash behind.
But yeah, I think that's that. So again, thank you everybody who kind of rallied around us, because had circumstances been different, both of you would have been here with me. But I think it worked out one-on-one. I like it. It kind of. I got my Pete Rose on.
You love the glory, man.
Not Pete Rose. I got my Charlie Rose on. I got my my Nardwar one-on-one. My
You're Andrew
Walter
Carleton.
Cronkite.
We have to know.
That's a really good Nardwar impression. You know Nardwar? You know Nardwar.
Who?
Oh, damn.
Oh, you would. I think you would like him.
You would love him.
I think you would actually like him. It's just this really cool, quirky interviewer from Vancouver, Canada, who knows everything about the
everyone.
artists and like, oh, you grew up in next to the McDonald's on 3rd Avenue, and then the rapper is like, who told you that? Like, I only lived there for like 3 hours. Like, what?
You're J. Cole. We have to know.
Anywho,
That's great.
Yeah,
man,
that was fun. Anything else for Loyal boys?
Predictions for the Open Cup and maybe
6-0. San Diego
Saturday?
Loyal lose. No.
Cool. I think Loyal wins 4-1 against Albion.
I can be mean and say what my prediction for Orange County was 1-1, and one of the teams advances on penalty kicks. I'm gonna go 2-1.
Okay.
Sheila?
I said 4-1. Tony.
I say a 3-2 again. Like it's a rotational player. Somebody asked like how the kid's doing over in training. Like the CJ's looking great. There's a couple new faces out there. And they're looking good. Chabi, again, is still mi gallo. That kid is still – I will tell everybody that this kid is going to be good. He just needs to grow a little bit. He knows that. He just put some stilts on out there. So, yeah, I feel we're going to see a lot of that. But in any case, hopefully we can make it out there. Hopefully you can make it out there.
Yeah.
Because, again, $35, gas –
Yikes!
It's gonna be quite a thing. But
leaving work early for that. Oof, man.
Yeah, I had to call out to interview and clean the garage, Andrew Carleton, that day. So
I should tell Loyal that. Hey, you guys cost me a couple hours of work.
Actually lost money. So
yeah. Wow.
Could have used that for a second Space Needle.
But yeah, man. That's the Loyal talk right there.
How you feeling about it, Alan? You good?
Yeah, I think we've covered the gamut. And you guys still have to talk about Wave and San Diego Soccer's.
Yep. Yeah. Who are playing Wave? Actually, they're playing Wave.
Yeah,
just not
different Wave.
Mm-hmm. Different.
That's gonna be a fun matchup, I think. Yeah. So you guys got plenty more to talk about. So I'll get out of your guys' hair, so your podcast doesn't last 4.5 years.
Oh man, it's getting there.
It's getting there. It's wild. But thank you,
Love
Alan.
you guys.
Thank you, Alan.
Appreciate you.
Ladies and have a good night. Oh, man, I love Alan.
I love watching him as he signs out. Just like he's so awkward with it because everybody's awkward. They're like,
yeah.
All right, I'm not on the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
So you won a combo.
I did.
You got right now with your like lifestyle change, you're like getting drunk off of fumes, just like smelling it.
I'm surprised I was able to hang so much of what I did. But yeah, man, it was fun. I did ATVs. We're gonna go a party boat, a couple boats, the beach,
a couple boats.
But yeah, no, it was definitely fun.
Yeah, I did the complete opposite of what you did. So you were in like tropical, blah blah blah.
The weather was nice. I mean, I think the hottest it got was like 85 degrees.
It's gonna be 90 on Thursday here.
I know, and Friday.
It's wild. I'm not looking forward to that.
But then at night it was very windy and cold, and I didn't pack any sweaters.
Oh, well, you don't have the insulation to be warm anymore, so.
I know, it was pretty cold.
Welcome to the XL shirt life, bitch.
Straight up.
Motherfucker, bitch.
I need to change the shirt, by the way. This is a two. If anybody
I went to the store today, bro.
I might just buy the white one. I like the white one, or when a goalkeeper one comes available. But if anybody's interested, I might just raffle this one out. It's a 2XL. So let me know if you guys are down to raffle. I might be down to raffle.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna raffle that one and a home.
Because I like it, but I didn't like myself in it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So I might go for a goalkeeper one or maybe the away one as well. But you guys let me know if I should raffle this one. It's a 2XL. Brand new. I only wore it once to try it on, and
it's a thrift store find. Yeah, I'm down for that. We'll figure something out with that. San Diego Wave, the day before, win their first matchup here in front of their home fans, scoring a couple bangers, even one against themselves. Did you see that?
I didn't see the own goal. I saw some of the other goals.
But yeah, Alex Morgan getting on the score sheet, proving that she's not just a big name.
A brace and an assist, right?
Yeah, a brace and an assist. But again, you hadn't seen the home fans just hadn't seen anything from Alex Morgan that's like, wow. Again, still preseason. I will say, That's a lot of people.
But it's a lot of. Oh, yeah.
Bye, Ellen. Hi, Ellen.
I believe I think it was 6. Giva, you still owe me a lemonade, but I'll take the jersey, dude. I got you. Loyal play Saturday at home, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
Charleston
got
Battery.
you Saturday. Just look me up before I go down on the field, and I'll get you that lemonade for sure, Jesse.
Look you up and down. Okay. Got it. But definitely, San Diego Wave, them and their attendance.
They're packing the
fantastic.
stands, dude.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if you really
But
compare
low-key,
this game
was
versus
Loyal
Loyal
like that when the first game ever, and then COVID happened.
Ooh, once upon a time. Yeah. Bye, Alan. But definitely a good turnout once again.
Yeah.
The game itself, though, let me kind of go back in there.
I think I answered 619 Soccer's poll that they were going to lose. So if I ever answer any of your poll 619 Soccer, I'm always going to answer the opposite of what people want.
Yeah.
Just to talk shit.
Yeah, it's just to balance it out. But so here's the own goal. You have Sheridan, the goalkeeper, who played fantastic last week against Portland Thorns. Just going to come out.
It was Tegan, right? Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Miscommunication for sure.
Miscommunication, a banger of a goal. You have Tegan McGrady.
Who we've talked to in press conferences before.
Yeah. And wearing that 19 jersey. So, you know, not a good look at that time. The squad ended up going 2-1 with a Alex Morgan goal
Right
before the half.
Yeah.
Right before the half. Alex Morgan, like, you can tell the quality. Like, she's just something else. So error by the defender, and then just boom, taps it in exactly where she needs to be, and a lethal finish.
I think this goal just relieves a lot of stress off her shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Where it's a lot of pressure of like, hey, I'm one of the best players in the world,
Yeah.
and I still haven't scored in a game, and she scores 2 this game.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. We're learning this league.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Angel FC was supposed to be the next hot shit, right? Like, they were supposed to be crazy. They lost embarrassingly last week. This week, they come in to get 4 goals scored on. They scored 2, but 1 was an own goal. So essentially, you only scored 1.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, is Angel FC really going to be the contenders? Because people say San Diego Wave is the team to beat at this point, but I don't see any opposition to that because, you know.
Yeah, I was upset that, again, this vacation just messed up with the whole going to games and experiencing and learning for at least this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I'm back to the grind, back to work.
Yeah.
That week was great, and I'm really excited to learn more about San Diego Wave and their style of play.
There was a comment earlier saying we need a soccer-specific stadium. Any thoughts on teaming up with Wave to get a stadium, or maybe other sports teams like rugby, as SD native? So San Diego Wave's already going to play at Snapdragon, so the stadium's already there. What's going to happen with San Diego Loyal? I think they're still trying to get that soccer-specific stadium over by the Midway District, and the Midway Plus. Shout out to our boy DK, who's now heading that, and, you know, congratulations to him. So hopefully that ends up happening. But no, it's a great team that's coming together. Obviously, you know, there's not a lot of teams in the NWSL, but from what I've seen in these last couple games and being able to actually be there in person, they just need time. They're not as cohesive as they can be.
But it's looking like it's only gonna get better. Like, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah. So SD Native over here saying they also have top 3 players that are hurt. Angel City FC, so that might be a
Injuries
very big
happen.
reason.
You gotta be ready for that.
Exactly. So, you know, a great game. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about it as soon as, like, the tournament gets there. We want to make sure that we are there. Very good to see Amira Ali getting a goal after she played fantastic the last game she went in the second half. Again, here's proving why, you know, she's just a spark to that team. Good.
She's the Barstool athlete, yeah, right?
Yeah, she's the Barstool athlete.
Yeah,
so
that's fucking dope.
This game ended up being 4-2. Great turnout, great everything. So again, soccer in San
I
Diego.
wish we could have
is coming
seen
back
Casey
up.
Stoney happy after a game, because
She probably wouldn't. Again, it's like Landon. This guy's Landon syndrome. Like, you're asking, like, hey, Casey, like, you know,
great game, right? No.
No, I think
we could have fixed
we
some
done
things.
better. I'm not gonna. Yeah, first win in franchise history. You see her there.
Again, I just don't. I think
saw her there,
I
like-
think she just doesn't like press conferences.
Look at
I think
that.
that's what it is.
Look at that. I want to get that reaction from Casey Stoney with a question or
Yeah,
or
one
like,
day
hey,
maybe.
yeah, how's it going? Hopefully
One day.
One day.
Es que te ve y dice, ¿y este gordo qué sabe? Pero este gordo es la mera verga.
Do you know who was trusted to talk with Andrew Carleton for the first
Oh,
time
hey.
in 2 years? Huh?
Ow.
Ow.
San Diego Sockers.
Los
They had a
Sockers de San
big
Diego.
game against, who was it, Ontario, right?
So they had a big game against Ontario, but before that, they had an opening night that we have Craig Elston last week. Again,
Yes.
fucking lifetime ago. Like that was
It's just a
long
week ago too, man.
It really, really, really is. So they have an opening night on that Thursday. A lot of San Diego Loyal people from the front office, supporters, and friends. San Diego Loyal and friends made an appearance over there in Section 19 as well.
We talked about how affordable it was. Like
$5, you're not going to find that anywhere else.
For what you're going to buy a ticket for this open comment, you would have gotten shit-faced drunk and watched a whole Sockers game.
What a great point. What a great point, Chiva. Like, that's 100% correct. Now, California has also now lifted the ban. So starting on April 1st, the California Department of Public Health will no longer require fans to show proof of COVID-19 vaccinations or negative COVID-19 tests for entry in Pachanga. So if you're one of those individuals that still hasn't gotten vaccinated, you should probably get vaccinated. But I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you to go watch the Sockers game. Go watch the Sockers game. Support Sockers. They did play against the Florida Tropics, which was a good team. They ended up going up and destroying them. It was an absolute show for everybody that did end up going to Pachanga Arena on that day.
Los Brujos and Adrian.
Yeah, no, 100%. So the final ended up being 11-4.
So let me get this straight, man. Like, you go to this game for fucking change.
$5.
You get drunk for change.
Yeah.
And you watch a trashing. And if you wore baseball gear or Padres gear,
destruction. And
exactly. You
got yourself a little pint glass. We actually have that pint glass. But look at me.
I don't have it because they stole my shit. Remember?
That's right. They stole your shit from there.
Yeah.
But look at me. Who am I? I'm somebody who just paid for a ticket for the Florida Tropics game. So if you missed out,
$20 for a playoff game though. For the Sockers.
619. If people may know this, we refer to 619 Soccer. He's the homie. He has his own page. Shout out Instagram 619 Soccer. He does a lot of coverage.
By the way, he's been making our freaking thumbnails.
He makes our thumbnails, and we work together. If you want to go to San Diego Soccer's game, bro, like you'll give you the credential.
Yeah.
Like we'll give you our credential to go do coverage for us. Like because we have so much shit going on the weekends. Like we'll watch the games, and I love hearing the golden voice of Craig Elston. And before they got taken down from Twitch, but. Let us know. And definitely we're going to try our best to get out there. Again, we were there talking shit to Chihuahua Savage and the goalkeeper. I think I made him cry. Los Calcetineros. But yeah, shout out to Calafino for giving the Chavos some shots, and the owners are the best. You know what?
Yeah, shout out Calafino.
Califino. Use promo code 2balls20 at the end of your purchase for a 20% discount for 2 balls and a mic, and you can also help 2 balls and a mic reach their dreams of feeding every child in America with that contribution. That's my dream. I don't know. You're trying to use that money for something else. Anyway.
No, that was same. Of course.
Same, 100%.
Yeah.
So Acafino, Calafino. There's still some in here.
Not trying to pay the debt for the podcast, but La madre, ¿ya andas pedo?
No.
Don't get drunk. You're driving me home.
Oh, shit.
Because like Andrew Carleton, I don't have a car.
Yikes.
Might actually be able to go. We'll see what happens.
The Starbucks Reserve was fantastic.
Oh, dude.
It was delicious. I just remember drinking.
So you did a bunch of shit up there.
Yeah. I went to the Space Needle. I went to the Pop Museum. I cried So there's
probably lost a couple pounds.
So
all that walking.
Yeah, bro, but I ate just as much. So I mean it's fine. Perushkis are like these little empanaditas, Russian empanaditas. It's on Pike's Place. It's delicious. The coffee there's fantastic. You know what pissed me off? The Starbucks over there is just so much more superior. Not like the first Starbucks, like just a general Starbucks. Oh, you went and had Starbucks at Seattle? There's so much good coffee. Shut up. There's great Starbucks up there, and it was so much better than any Starbucks here in San Diego. Like, and it's not like I went to the main one. I just went to an offshoot, like next one. And a basic vanilla latte was just fucking wild, like wildly good, wildly delicious. Like it was great.
Also, when you travel and you go somewhere and you like the food, the buffet over there at the hotel. Wait,
major
everything. It made me so upset because I couldn't eat
because you're
everything.
not fat anymore.
Because I couldn't eat. I physically couldn't eat everything. But bro, like they had everything for breakfast, lunch, like everywhere. Like it was so freaking dope. Like I've never gone to a hotel where it's all inclusive. Yeah, thank you for the hat, by the way. I love this hat. I'm gonna wear it at work tomorrow. Yay! I like it. You gave me the options. You called me.
That's your birthday present. The option, not the hat. The option to choose which one.
Oh wow!
Was your
Thank
birthday
you.
present.
I mean, it's almost the same as that, I guess.
Yeah, it's a different city actually. If you turn it, look, it actually looks the same. Like it has the outline of a city. Yours has the outline of a city.
Yeah. Price is different too.
Well, no, it was a pretty pricey trip. You should know.
Yeah, of course, of course. Anyways, what else? I mean, we have what?
Oh, so hold on. So San Diego Soccer's again, just finishing it up. 100%. Go check them out. They're gonna go into playoffs. They're the best team in the MASL. I haven't confirmed this, but I think they're undefeated since the day that we played there. I haven't confirmed that, but I think they have not lost since I played and stopped that shot.
They're 23-0-1?
I think they're 20 in a row at this point.
Yeah, but their record's 23-0-1.
Yeah, 23-0-1.
So they have a playoff match already, right?
See.
They knocked out Ontario out of the playoffs.
Bye.
And they ended up. That was a close game. I think they won it
4-3. Yeah.
So traveling definitely spoils you in different cuisines. Yeah, it for sure does, man.
I saw some beautiful tulips. The tulip fields were beautiful. I also saw Meredith Gray's house.
Oh man,
did I tell you that?
Did you really?
Yeah, like it's somebody actually lives there. It's a family, and we just went to harass them at their doorstep and just take pictures.
Do a lot of people go or no?
Yeah, and then the park that park.
Do they charge to take those pictures?
No, it's like if somebody it's just kind of fucked up.
Private property.
It really is. And they were just, the family doesn't mind if you take pictures from across the street. My girl was like, let's go on the steps. Okay.
Oh shit.
So that was fun.
That's cool, man.
I realized.
I think we deserve that vacation.
We deserve it.
Sorry, guys, we were gone for you a couple of days. I was gone for almost a whole week, but we're back. Better than ever. We're here for the grind.
Well, look at that.
It's not like we missed an episode.
Yeah, no, we're still consistent.
So, by the way, the 2 balls ilegal, we recorded, and this dumb fuck fucking deletes it.
Sorry, I had another hot content on my hands, and
so we'll get a 2 balls ilegal with a bunch more recaps.
Here, let's do this. Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos. Entonces, los San Diego Loyo, 2 balls ilegal. Le han jugado contra Phoenix y le ganó 3-2. También jugó y perdió.
We'll probably do it Thursday. Maybe Thursday. I don't know what you're doing.
San
Thursday.
Diego Loyo.
We can't do it Wednesday. There's a game on Wednesday. I'm not doing it tomorrow. It's my birthday. I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
Sapo verde to you.
But yeah, soccer, so playoff match, right?
Yeah, so playoff matches are happening. So if you want to get out there, make sure that you visit sdsoccers.com/tickets, or you can call 1-866-799-GOAL. So
and
that's
it's
again 1-866-799-GOAL.
two legs, right? Home and away.
And so again, get out there, guys. It's really fun. Again, San Diego Soccer is not paying us in any form or fashion in order to make these claims and events. But make sure you go.
And buy some Califino.
Que fino, Califino. But yeah, I think that's it for San Diego local soccer. Inter won after a power outage for our personal UPSL purposes. So check them out. We do commentary for a UPSL site called Esti Inter. They won. They are now 1-1.
They have a home game this Saturday at 4 p.m. as well.
Saturday they have a home game as well. So check that out. Check out the link if you want to have a good
time
with us.
So go there, then head over to the Loyal game, guys.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to have a good time and just watch us, just you know what?
If you
we should raffle that during our games.
Oh, one of them. Oh, they play Rebels this Saturday, and that's a big game.
Rebels is good. Chula Vista Rebels.
That's a big game.
So yeah, check it out.
Definitely
try it out.
What happened to Conrad interview? Fuck you, 600 Soccer. He forgot, man.
He forgot. So Jimmy Conrad forgot the boy.
He's a family man, and he had a date with his daughter. He's a girl dad, and I respect that, honestly.
Yeah, 100%.
So we are going to get to have him soon to talk about the World Cup draw and just talk everything, preview everything that's happened. So let's talk about that World Cup draw.
So I
saw it live. I don't know if you saw it live.
World Cup draw.
I had it on the phone. I managed to download a VPN with the Wi-Fi at the hotel.
Look at you.
And because Peak. Oh, by the way, the Paramount Plus account, I need to update it because I got a new debit card, and I got the email saying, "Hey, your
Processing payment, yeah.
So I changed that. But the Peacock, I was able. They showed
the
draw.
cock. Yeah.
By the way, the first hour, I'm like, just get to the draw already.
Yeah.
Like I like it, the performance and all this. Just get to the draw, man. Like
So you didn't like the show that was on the cock. You weren't a fan of the cock.
I wasn't. I guess not.
You were not a fan of the
let's
cock.
take a look at these groups, man.
Well, let's find a good picture for it because again, we want to make sure that we have premium content here at Two Balls and a Mic, and it's not a shit show.
Go to the FIFA.com.
I'm trying, but FIFA is being difficult. There's 230 days, 4 hours and 51 minutes before the first game of the World Cup in Qatar, in 2022. If you want to go ahead and look at exactly quién is in this, where would it be, Chiva?
There's a thing that says draw. Like, just put like when you Google it. Oh, so yeah, there's a thing that says.
Wow, look at that! I found it all myself. Thank you. All right.
Welcome.
Thank you, me. I'm the best. So yeah, so we have the World Cup draw, Group A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
I think as we go through this, I know before we've gone through what players each team, but we don't know what players are gonna end up calling, right? But I think as we go through each group, let's just try to predict who goes as first and second. You down? It's way too early. Way too early, and then we'll see who is gonna qualify from each of those players.
And you guys can play along at home. Vlog at the game with Albion. Not worth it at a high school. I don't want to do any type of recording at a high school. Just kidding. We'll see about that.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take my camera if we get those credentials because communication with Albion has not been too open, honestly. So,
well, we're gonna as soon as I meet them, they're gonna love me and they're gonna be like, oh, of course, come in.
Yeah, all right, gonna be like, is this the Tony Sanchez?
Group A for Qatar. How I need chapstick. Qatar. Wow. Hey, congratulations, you guys made the World Cup.
Tough way to make it to the World Cup.
It was a challenging road. You
only had to pay billions of dollars.
Pay with lives and slave labor. So you know what?
Yeah,
congratulations, Qatar, and this is not how we're gonna make the World Cup. I'm fucking talking about the host this way. Right, the last World Cup, Russia.
Yikes!
Perestroika.
By the way, Ukraine can still make the World Cup.
I want that to happen so bad.
Yeah.
I want. Who is the other team?
It's Ukraine.
It's Ukraine versus somebody else who I kind of want. Wales? It's Ukraine, Wales, and somebody else that might make it from there. All right, so Group A, Qatar made it. Ecuador making it back into the World Cup stage. I know Ecuador has had a tough couple of World Cup cycles.
The times for these games are fucking wild. 2 a.m., 7 a.m., or 5 a.m. and 7 a.m.
It's going to be Korea, Japan all over again. So Group A, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. So the Netherlands are going to win this group.
So Qatar played in was it Copa America?
They did play in Copa America. Didn't look half bad.
They weren't that bad.
They weren't that bad. I mean, they might have been inspired. And
Scotland, thank you, 619 Soccer.
Escocia. See, this is why I have you on the payroll.
Winner plays well, yeah. I think first place has to be Netherlands. You have a pretty solid team. You have Bandai. You have young players.
Los Países Bajos. You have Depay. You have Van de Beek. I mean, they're supposed to be first place. So let's just say that. They're supposed to be first place. Second place, all right. And it's awesome. Yeah, I like Senegal. You have Sadio Mane playing there.
I think Senegal takes second place in this group.
Okay.
I don't see Ecuador. They've had a great decent qualifiers. Qatar home match, but I think it's Netherlands and Senegal.
All right, so then you look over to Group B, England, jolly old England, who is one of two favorites to actually win the entire World Cup, along with Brazil and maybe France.
It was Gold Cup. You see, not Copa America. It was Gold Cup.
Perfect. Iran is also in this group, so Iran so far away. No, nothing.
I have a friend that's his name's Iran.
Iran.
On his Snapchat, I have the I dash and then Ran, like Iran.
That's the joke.
I know.
Iran, our friend Cheyenne from the Next Generation podcast, who I missed over in Washington, Seattle, because he lives up there, wasn't able to exchange. Check out the Next Generation football podcast.
And then you have the small USA team.
Who?
Estados Unidos. Esos güeyes.
The LeBron James
of soccer.
The LeBron James of world football.
Yeah.
So get that going. And then Euro playoff team. Is that the one where Ukraine?
Yeah, it would be Wales,
or
Ukraine, or Scotland.
Got it.
Ukraine versus Scotland. The winner plays Wales. Realistically, it's going to be Wales.
I'd love a British Isles showdown with Wales or Scotland, but I want Ukraine to be there.
So first place in this group has to be England.
Jolly old England.
I can see the U.S. pushing for a first place.
I can see them pushing for a place, but I think they're going to be happy with a second place.
I think it's going to be England, U.S. second.
Yeah.
It would be a disaster for this U.S. team to not go in a second place, even though everyone's saying 2026 is going to be the year where they make an impact. But I think that they have the capabilities of making an impact this World Cup, so I put them in second.
So then we move over to Group C.
That's the Group C. Dios. So it's all going to depend on the list that Tata makes. Like, they looked way better without HH and Guti on the center mid, along with Charles Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez.
Yeah.
Like, that's the midfield that
Arteaga looking great.
Arteaga's playing great. Sanchez is playing great. If they don't call 4 goalkeepers, you get an extra player to get there. Don't call up Gallardo. If you're going to call up HH or Guardado, call one, not both. You don't need both of them there. At the striker position, I'm sorry, you got to call Chicharito back. Chicharito's 4 goals. Ow. Ouch. Ouch.
This is the most pain I've ever felt in a soccer game. I need revenge. I need blood. 2010 was something else because the referee was against us and it was 12 against 1. 2014, yeah. 2014, the ref was against us.
2010 nos trabajó Argentina también. And there was, I think, an offside. So
2014 was Netherlands.
Yeah. 2010, sí, pero... Sí, la cagaron. Osorio la cagó bien culero.
La cagaron, but there was the second goal was an offside. Clear offside, didn't get marked, and so that changed the whole tide.
Que íbamos a ganar con el Conejo Pérez de portero.
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. No. But this is pain. This is pain. This is pain.
So, yeah, it's a revenge tour for Mexico. Again, it's going to be on who they call up a striker. I'm sorry, Chicharito has 4 goals in 5 games with Galaxy right now. He's killing it. I would love maybe Marcelo Flores to make an appearance just to have him. He got his first call up for Arsenal today. He didn't play. He was on the bench, but the youngster and an Arsenal kid on the bench in the Premier League.
Iran can be a sleeper team. They have good things.
I agree with Jesse.
Jesse says Chicha
yeah. Like, he's playing great. Like, wait, you have Jimenez, Chicharito, and then Santi Jimenez from Cruz Azul, who's a youngster who can play good. We'll see, man. But then you have Argentina.
We'll see, man.
Con Messi and their last
hurrah.
Cup, right?
I mean, they're gonna win. They should.
They
should.
Be
On
first
paper,
place
they should be first
group.
place.
They should be first.
I will be very happy when they're not because Mexico is gonna be destroying everybody.
And here we go again with the illusion, like, oh, Mexico, maybe.
Poland.
I don't even know if we can beat Poland, dude.
Can you beat Robert Lewandowski?
Like
that is the question.
That's the thing, dude.
Can you do it in a
El Chicharito es malo, jaja, no tiene nivel de selección. Tampoco Jiménez, güey. What the fuck has Jiménez been doing? Ricardo.
Oh, Ricardo.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Boy. I'm sorry, but like, nobody in the selección tiene nivel de selección ahorita. If you're looking at it like that, man. Like, we're a fucking joke right now. I realistically, the way Mexico played these qualifiers, we lose to Argentina, we lose to Poland, we tie with Saudi Arabia.
Tie with Saudi Arabia would be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, so okay. Argentina first.
Okay.
I'm going to be biased. I'm going to put Mexico second.
Yeah, you have to. I'm sorry.
I have to.
Yeah.
But if I'm not biased and I'm going with based on what I've seen in the qualifiers, they're going to play 10 games before this World Cup because there's Nation League games. There's going to be friendlies. There's going to be a friendly in LA, by the way. And I think it's going to be Argentina or Brazil. So I'm just saying, nos ponemos truchas.
When did you find out about this?
Nos ponemos truchas para aplicar.
Tell me these things so I can work on it.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
It's not anytime soon. It's I think like July, August. September type shit.
All right. So, So essentially, I have to agree with you on that one.
Poland is not good either. Neither are we.
Neither are we. So
But
it's
yeah,
gonna
Argentina, Mexico.
I'll just put it this way: Group C is not the group of death.
I don't think there's a group of dead. By the way, if Mexico goes in as second, next group, Group D, France goes in as first, we go against France in the round 16.
We know how to take care. You know who knows how to take care of a couple of Frenchies?
Chicharito. But not this France team. I'm sorry. This France team is still probably one of the favorites to win the World Cup.
Ricardo Virgen only have Lewandowski and Zielinski. I mean, they also have Szczesny in goal, so he's pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie, especially in the grand scheme of it all. Like maybe not, but against a Mexico team that's struggling to score against El Salvador and their goalkeeper that probably sells ice cream on the off days. It's not looking good for Mexico, but hopefully. But yeah, Mexico-Argentina got canceled because of the draw, 100%. But in any case, moving on to the Group D, France the IC playoff. So
that's Costa Rica and New Zealand.
So whose heart do you want to break? The new father, Mr. Bad Bunny Jr., Brandon, who's a Costa Rica fan, or everybody's favorite Kiwi, Nick Duffy, and Boxall and Kyle Adams. Literally, you have skin in the game with in a sense with somebody you kind of know in a sense with like Boxall.
As someone that's Latino, I gotta go Costa Rica, but I think New Zealand's going to take it.
I hope just for the banter and just like I mean Brandon, your life choices have led you here, and congratulations on being a new father, but you live in LA now, so sorry.
I think New Zealand takes it.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Costa Rica doesn't have the team to compete. I'm sorry.
I have Keylor Navas, and I mean, I guess you still have a chance with Keylor Navas in goal, but he's not the one scoring goals. You have to win in order to make it through.
But then you have Denmark and Wonder Boy Christian Eriksen,
this kid is
who just scored against your team, by the way, and they destroyed your team.
They destroyed. I mean, the aura. It's like when the good guy fights the bad guy, and Chelsea is very much the bad guy, and you have the ultimate baby face in Christian Eriksen coming in and just slaughtering with his team. So. Congratulations to him. Denmark did have a good team altogether. I think they
had a good Euros. They were having a good Euros.
How much of that is
that happened? So
how much of that is the resilience and coming together as a team?
Costa Rica, New Zealand winners. Next one, Group E. Okay, Costa Rica has a better squad than New Zealand, though. I mean, Ricardo, it sounds like you're going based with all the Latino teams, bro. Like,
I think he's just going against you. Ricardo, what did Chiva do to you?
I'm just saying, bro. But I think France and then Denmark in second.
This is the Australia-Peru winner, so that's going to be the IC playoff one. Thank you, 619 Soccer, for fact-checking.
Australia, Peru. No, I don't think Australia and Peru can compete. I think France and then Denmark.
Do we really need New Zealand and Australia, though?
No, let's have Peru on there.
I'm down. Let's do one. Let's have Peru in there.
My sixth grade teacher was from Peru, so I always have a soft spot for Peru.
Rest in peace.
No, what? I don't.
We said
I
was.
don't know. Oh shit! I mean, to be fair, I don't know. So, Group E: Spain, New Zealand,
what do we have?
Germany, Japan.
All right, so potential group of death. I mean, Japan is all right. They have an all right squad, but are they going to make a splash and noise in the World Cup? I really don't think so, especially when you're playing against Spain, a new generation of Spanish players coming up. You have Ferran Torres, you have Pedri, you have a brand new, you have, I guess, Kepa Arrizabalaga, you have Coque Vegas.
Coque Vegas. Ansu Fati, if he's fit.
I kind of like this, by the way.
I see that. Germany, though, who's also stacked, but hasn't last World Cup.
Joachim Löw's last World Cup.
Yeah.
So the ball sniffer, ball snatcher, he's is he going to be at it again with a World Cup, lifting up another World Cup with those filthy, filthy hands of his? By the way, shout out Landon Donovan. You got it deep in there. Like, I probably won't shake your hand for a while, but like, Vato, that was just like I said. Like,
this is the latest we stayed up doing the podcast, and this is what's happening.
Just fucking picking up the microphone and shit.
Spain, Germany, first, second?
Spain, Germany, 1-2. No, 2-1. So Germany first, Spain.
Spain
but
second.
it can be, right? Like this new generation
I'm
is
going
very good.
Spain, like La Chavineta in España.
Yeah. I think that's a good shout too, but Either way, whoever comes out of the icy playoffs, no. Japan, no. So
I think Spain first, Germany second.
Group F, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia. The best team in a lot of people's minds because of the quality of the players, right? In Belgium. The golden generation is coming to an end.
Belgium's the first time they're not first place in the FIFA rankings in 4 years, I believe.
That's wild. Exactly. And so, again, what does that mean? I don't fucking know because FIFA rankings don't mean shit at the end of the day. But, it is what it is. Belgium being up there. Canada having the best team in the CONCACAF this time around. Alphonso Davies.
And Croatia.
Morocco, I can't tell you
Croatia,
a lot.
Runner-up from the last World Cup.
Very much so. But again, that generation is now older. Modric is like pushing it. And so will he be able to move forward? Perisic. Yeah, I think you have Mandzukic, saying that same Mandzukic as you once had. Yeah. Who else? Brozovic over from Inter. You have some players here and there, but are they going to make a splash in the World Cup in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. I think the first place is going to be Belgium. Second place is going to be a toss-up between Croatia and Canada. And honestly,
I'm going to go Belgium and Canada second. Canada is the best Canada we've seen
ever. 100%. Group G, Los Brasileiros, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. All right, clear favorites. To win the whole thing, actually, is Brazil. So Brazil always has a soft spot in my heart. So I'm going to be cheering for.
Serbia. You have the youngster Vlahovic.
Yes.
Up on top. So it's going to be. I think his name's going to get put out there more, and people are going to know who he is more.
Yeah.
Switzerland.
With a new MLS import, Xherdan Shaqiri, Granit Xhaka, and Ruiz, who plays over in the Premier League and in the Bundesliga in the back and the left.
Cameroon,
Buki, who's a good goalkeeper, also in the Bundesliga.
I can see it going either way. With first place is going to be Brazil.
Okay,
has to be Brazil, right?
Has to.
They're pretty stacked all around, and then you have up-and-coming talent like Vini, Rodrigo. You have already a season namer who's probably going to be his last World Cup as well.
There's a lot of last in this World Cup. There's a lot of last in this World Cup. And then moving on to
Group I got Brazil, H. And then I'm going to go with Serbia. Serbia second.
Brazil, I'll go Switzerland on there. I like me some Switzerland. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, Korea, South Korea, Korea Republic, making that Group H. Portugal barely, that panzazo making it into the World Cup. By winning that playoff team. They had to go to a playoff team. If Mexico did that, we would be saying like that.
Portugal has a team to compete, man. If anything, I would put them as my dark horse. So if Mexico vale madre, there's always another team that you kind of root for.
Yeah, Brazil.
It'll be Portugal for me.
So Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup. How sweet would it be to get a final of Ronaldo versus Messi?
By the way, if Argentina wins their group and Portugal wins their group, we can see a Messi-Ronaldo final. How awesome.
People are going to say it's rigged. People are going to say it's rigged.
I don't care.
Which is probably true.
That's the best ending to this chapter. And then after they go together and they play with Inter Miami for one season, and it's a complete shit show. But it's how the story ends.
Retired David Beckham. So I mean, this team is this group is pretty interesting, right? So you have Korea, who also has a Heung-min Song. They have a good couple of players also scattered across the world, especially in the Bundesliga as well. Uruguay with Luis Suarez, that golden generation of Uruguay, kind of coming to an end. Cavani is old time. I think Diego Forlan is still playing some.
I believe last time Uruguay played Ghana was in that World Cup where Luis Suarez.
So there's history there in 2010, and it ended up. I can see
Ghana's gonna play with a little
con ganas,
unos huevillos
con ganas
against Uruguay. So I got Portugal first.
I hope there's 5 red cards from Ghana just going after.
You could go with Uruguay second because they have that experience in playing in so many World Cups. But I can see Son just putting the team in his back as well and beating Uruguay and Ghana. And putting up a fight.
Yeah, I mean they ended up being Germany. Mexico ended up being Germany in the last one, but you saw what this Korean team is capable of.
Coreano, hermano, ya eres mexicano. Coreano, hermano, ya eres mexicano.
So that's gonna be the final look as far as what we have right now before the playoffs, going into the World Cup, which
is way too early to predict anything.
100%.
We don't even know who's getting called up yet.
Yeah, exactly. So, people can get injured. Messi can get injured. Ronaldo can get injured.
Yeah, by episode like 150, 140 something, we'll probably know.
Exciting stuff. But we've talked about this. I think we're turning into a soccer podcast until
football season rolls around again.
Yeah, 100%. I'll do.
So we just went with the longest podcast last week, and now we're gonna top that.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I mean, it's fine. People are enjoying it. There's still 14 people in here in the chat. Get in the chat,
Shout
guys.
Out
Get in
to
the
every
chat.
single one.
Shout
of
out
you.
to every single. Yes, 100%. I really appreciate you, and because of that, I think you guys get a sound effect. Which one should I put?
Yahweh! Pendejo, way.
But in any case, thank you again for the support of everybody who's been so kind here. And again, if you have questions about the Under Carleton, about anything else, about us, about our vacations, let us know.
Yeah.
In the chat, we're definitely gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about that. But in any case, also opening day for baseball is coming soon. Baseball is coming. The San Diego Padres.
Who?
The San Diego Padres.
Who?
Los Padres de San Diego. The Dodgers look crazy. I'll put it to you.
I mean, with Freeman on first base, we're stacked, dude. We're stacked.
Shut up. This is how good. Let me tell you how good your fucking team is. The last two guys on your batting rotation are the 2020 league MVP for the National League, and then the last guy is Gavin Lux, who was the 2020 number 2 prospect in all of baseball. Those are your 2 worst hitters. Like, holy shit. San Diego Padres do have the best rotation they've had in years, but
can I tell you, man?
If you guys look, you guys are in the chat.
I love living in San Diego.
You guys are in the chat.
From LA.
I can go deep into baseball. So if you guys want baseball talk, let me know. I will definitely go into that because. Oh man,
you can do it solo. You like doing things solo, anyways.
I do actually. I'll have Manny Machado here for me for that. Hey, ¿qué onda, Manny? ¿Cómo está? Oh, hey, let's go, Brandon. What's up with that, bro?
Where were you January 6th?
Since that's my fucking style. just interview controversial athletes. Tiger.
Shit, no, not Tiger.
Who's coming back actually after that horrific incident and might play in the Masters, and it's going to be the greatest story.
His kid's looking pretty good too, golfing.
Hey, okay.
Hey,
bro. Bro,
we got Champions League. We got Champions League to still talk about.
Yeah, 100%. So I've been trying to pull out the fucking song for like 10 minutes, but here we go.
Oh man, we got the quarterfinals for the Champions League, and it's gonna be a good one, guys. We got 3 Premier League teams. We got 3 La Liga teams. 1 team from Portugal. And 1 team from Germany.
So, yes. Very, very much that. I agree with what you just said, Gio.
Those are facts, my boy.
Cannot
facts here.
Disagree with you on that one. So, if we're looking at this right here, let's do this right here. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
We have Benfica, the Portuguese side that, rose above, and it's surprising a lot of people that are even in here. They're going to go ahead and play against Liverpool.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have Benfica, Liverpool, and Man City, Atletico Madrid. By the way, Atletico Madrid is my boy Jesse's team. So I'm very much excited for Atletico to beat Man City.
¿Lo
Yeah, Jesse Loera, he's an Atletico fan.
Oh, boy.
I honestly think he goes for Atletico because they're rojiblancos, and he's a diehard Chivas fan. Jesse, is that the reason? Is that the reason, Jesse?
I respect that. Just the love for the colors.
And Vergara did want to buy Atletico Madrid once at one point.
Well, and we know how that ended up for him. Ouch.
I don't like 10 p.m. Tony, guys.
In any case, so Benfica Liverpool, that's going to be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Sunday, the first leg of the quarterfinals.
I thought Ajax was going to be able to top Benfica, and boy, was I wrong, I guess. But Liverpool has a chance at the quadruple still.
Yeah.
They face Man City this Sunday, which we'll talk about a little bit. And that's going to be pretty much defining the Premier League champion. But I don't see Liverpool losing against Benfica. I'm sorry. I just don't see this happening. I don't know. Do you see anything was happening there?
I mean, I was surprised again because Ajax was a very formidable team. They had a great attack. You have Haller, who was just killing it, who had more goals than most of the teams going into the playoff
And a couple
brackets.
own goals. So.
A couple of own goals, yes. Yeah, Jesse says, I say Liverpool. I say Liverpool versus
Ricardo.
Bayern versus Man City. Ricardo Virgen says, I say Liverpool versus Bayern and Man City versus Real Madrid. His prediction. Let's go ahead and take it back a little
ruling
bit.
out your Chelsea. But, so we got Benfica, Liverpool. Liverpool playing lights out. Luis Diaz is playing like he's been playing in the Premier League for years. This is an exciting Liverpool team again.
So who are we going for here?
I got Liverpool.
So click Liverpool.
I'm going with the Underwood bandwagon.
Villarreal, Bayern Munich. Again, I know this isn't tomorrow, but
Yeah.
let's go ahead and go for it through this, right?
Okay.
So Villarreal, Bayern Munich. The winner goes and faces Liverpool. Villarreal is surprising. You know what? No. Villarreal is not surprising. They're meant to be here. This is a big team. You know, es un equipo grande.
Against Bayern Munich?
No, but I'm saying they beat the greats like Manchester United at some point. Like, you know, they know how to win.
Le están ganando equipos chiquitos.
Yeah, Manchester United, a small team. But can they do it against Bayern Munich? Bayern Munich, sometimes they just decide to lose like 6-0 Bayern. Like, I don't know, but in the big games it doesn't seem like them. They have the firepower.
I don't see them losing either. I think this is a game. It could be one of those where, oh shit, they tied the first game and then like the second game they destroy 7-0 last time. So I got Bayern.
So that would set up for a very good Bayern versus Liverpool game here. So that's gonna be fun. Man City, Atletico Madrid is the game that you were talking about. So we're gonna go ahead and see exactly who you think Chiva is
Atletico is playing okay. Like Joao Felix is scoring goals, but Man City's way too stacked for me not to pick them.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be a bold move to go with Atletico and then happening.
This Atletico. Because Atletico in the past, you'd been like, oh, okay, like, you know, they're a good, good home team. But as of late, it's not that same strong defensive team.
Man City team is just a little different. Pep Guardiola knows how to play against Atletico Madrid as well. He did it in many years with Barcelona.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Manchester City here.
So the first leg is against Manchester City in their home, in the city of Manchester. The city of Manchester Stadium. That's the name of it.
No, it's called Etihad. No, did they change?
Did they change?
Etihad Stadium. Yeah, no, it's Etihad Stadium.
No. Okay, yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, no.
That's wild. In any case, the first leg I think is gonna go to Man City, and eventually it'll go to Man City as well.
Yeah.
Then we go over to Chelsea. Chelsea versus the team that.
So by the way, Chelsea just lost 4-1 against Brentford, and coming into this game against Madrid,
that happens.
And then Madrid didn't play well. No, then Madrid doesn't play well against Barcelona and gets destroyed, and then gets 3 penalties called against Celta Vigo. Like, they got 3 penalties called in one game.
Mm-hmm.
So both of these teams maybe not coming in the best form. It's gonna be this one can go either way. I know the odds are probably like very, very close by, but I'm gonna go with Madrid.
Says that Chelsea is actually favored to win this one. 28% draw, 25% for Madrid. So whatever the remainder of that is, a Chelsea support. So we did it last year. This team is great in European competition. Chelsea is just something else. I think it's going to be a tight match. I could see there being a tie, especially now without being any away goals. That's going to be key, but I could see that them tying is going to be at Stamford Bridge.
I can also just see Real Madrid just shitting on you guys.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that, but I don't think so. I think Chelsea's going to win.
It's
my bias.
It's definitely
my bias.
It's definitely the toughest matchup though. It's going to be the most exciting quarterfinal game for sure. Yeah, money science. Yeah, no, I mean Chelsea has none of that anymore.
And we're still going to win.
We'll see, man.
We are current.
So who are you putting in that bracket?
European champions, world champions.
Oh wow! By the way, mine would be Madrid, guys. Mine would be Madrid on that shit.
So that's Chivas. That's mine.
All right.
Yes, that's exactly how I picked. So
Cool.
all right. So hopefully that's what the case ends up being, but that would be very, very interesting. But I think There's a lot of soccer, baseball. I mean, baseball.
Baseball, nah, man. We're not a baseball podcast. Sorry. Like, as much as you wanted this to be a baseball podcast, you joined the wrong gordito for that.
It's because I really think that the people would love to, just hear about the baseball.
All right, let's talk baseball, man. What can I expect on Thursday?
You can expect the San Diego Padres win. And with that, I want to say thank you for everybody that's been joining us here at Two Balls and a Mic. If you want to talk baseball, let's talk baseball.
Wait, who takes it? Liverpool or Man City on Sunday? Who takes it? Who do you think takes it? Who takes the Premier League? Whoever wins that pretty much wins the Premier League.
Manchester City.
I'm going Liverpool.
Interesting.
I'm going to go Liverpool on that one. Yeah, let us know, man. Who do you guys got?
Crazy. I thought you were a Man U supporter. That's wild.
Yeah, not a Man City supporter.
I always hope in these situations that Bane shows up.
I like Jurgen Klopp. What can I say? Like, he's
Bane just shows up and does what he did in Pittsburgh.
Oh shit!
No, I'm kidding. So thank you for everybody who's been joining us. Drink your Califino tequila.
Oh man!
Thank you for everybody.
Long episode. Thank you guys for sticking through this whole episode.
We might stay a little bit after. I might stay a little bit. No, I'm not.
Oh, you gotta take me home. Sorry, buddy.
God damn it!
I told you I would drive here, but
but I'm such a nice
guy. Thank you guys again. I was gone for pretty much a whole week, but I'm back.
Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday,
guy.
and I'm not gonna see you in your birthday.
That's true.
Fucking hope.
Thank God.
Thank God. There you go. So that's your birthday present. Anyway,
we get along great off camera, guys.
Check us out on Two Balls at a Mic and everything Two Balls at a Mic related on Twitter, Instagram,
like,
YouTube, and everything.
Subscribe.
Listen,
Thank you guys.
Listen, audio and everything. So make sure that you guys hop on that.
And then maybe catch us there on Wednesday. Definitely Saturday at the Loyal game. Get your Big Squeeze lemonade. Laters.
Squeeze your lemonade.